All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our behind the scenes of Nowsite's upcoming Higdon collaboration. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you tag some people inside of this live. I asked Adrian to come out and join me for this just so I can hammer him with the questions. I'm just kidding, Adrian.
I'm getting scared. I think there may be some retribution desire here.
For sure. No, I asked him to come out and have some fun and talk about the excitement behind this collaboration. And I thought it would be an opportunity to kind of explain a bit more about what's happening, as well as give you all a chance to ask questions if you have them about this upcoming collaboration. I'm really excited. Adrian, I know you are too, right?
I am seriously so pumped, and we're working on this like around the clock as a team, getting it ready for you. And the more of it that I see, the more excited I get.
It's awesome. Look, recently we had this star collaboration with Kawan Mayo and Laura Smith and Stormy Wellington, and that has been phenomenal. We have people doing so well, posting, commenting on other people's posts, and then they're also reaching out and creating the conversation. But people ask, well, what happens next? What do I do next? And for that part, we have the best in the industry, right, Adrian?
He is so good. And it was amazing because as we were putting this together, like, because we were working together with Ray, like having conversations about this obviously for a long time before we got to this place. And I was sort of checking in with myself, and so much of what I have learned over the years just about how to show up in conversation, how to pay attention to the right things, how to make sure that I don't come across as desperate, or, one of the things that he likes to joke is like that, your prospect makes you go play fetch, right? They throw the thing for you and you go chase it. And that's like I'm like the eager beaver, right? Like, I'm like, yes, of course I'll help you to get the answer to that question. And like, he was the one who helped me be like, hold on, like, yeah, maybe you could do that, but that's actually not going to serve you in conversation. And so just so many of these things that I realized, like, man, it all kind of points back to Ray. And so to have all of that deep knowledge embedded into what we're doing it's a dream come true.
Absolutely. I thought it was so funny. And he's super charming, but he's like, yeah, I spent like 16, 20, 30, 50 hours with these guys. Which it felt like minutes to me, right? It was such great insights into his approach to people, his inviting, his overcoming objections, closing. It was like kind of getting inside of the mind of Ray Higdon. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, it was so cool. And it was like the front row seat that I always wanted, right? Of like, I've been on so many of those trainings, and it's like, hey, but what about this? What about this? What about this? Can you do it for candles? And we sort of got him to, to really go into it and to take it back to first principles, right? To go like, okay, but like, yes, I understand that that's what we should say here, but why are we saying that here? And to then have the instruction there, but also that's where we're able to train my AI to recognize the situation and apply it, even when it's not the textbook example of how that person is doing it, or they take a hard right that you go, oh, what do I do? Like that, instead of having to panic in that moment, you now have, it's like Ray's with you by your side every step of the way. And how much more confidence are you going to have as a result of that?
Absolutely. Look, if you're not sure what we're sharing or what we're talking about, we had an amazing live presentation yesterday with our new collaborator, Ray Higdon, which was awesome. And we're talking about how once you get that conversation started, once you start to create the relationship with someone, how do you then shift that conversation to business? And once you shift that conversation to business, how do you then begin to invite that person or share your business with that person? How do you then maybe overcome objections? When's the right time to follow up? When's the right time to maybe close that sale, and take that conversation from something that's friendly and really shift it into business? And not just using the power of AI, but the power and expertise of Ray Higdon, which was absolutely awesome. Now, yesterday we got an inside look and we got to hear from Ray. We got a bit of training from Ray as well, which was kind of like our added bonus, and how these two things work together. I asked Adrian to come out here and share a bit of the behind the scenes look, but I also wanted to say, Adrian, can we get a look inside of the product and see like each one of those sections and how we would have the voice of Ray or Ray beside us, basically to kind of walk us through that area?
Yeah, let's do it. Hold on, I'm going to get this up here. So this is, and this is one of the big insights that came from this conversation, right? Is we were having this discussion about like, okay, what's the, like, what would be the most effective way for us to build this, Ray? And his immediate comment was like, well, you know, what happens for me when I'm coaching clients is even like big time people, I'm amazed because one of the biggest things that they do with me when I'm their coach, when I have them as a coaching client, is they're sending me screenshots of the conversations that they're having, going, hey, you know, what should I do with this? Or how should I handle this one? Or they're saying, hey, like I keep getting stuck. Can you help me? And he's going, okay, well, show me what you're saying so I can help you. And so instead of this being some kind of like, well, you have to describe the conversation to your AI and it's going to do like, what if Ray could just be looking over your shoulder, just like he's talking about in this situation? And instead it could be this idea of, I'm just sharing the conversation. And so that is exactly what this is going to be. It starts off with you actually just sharing what's going on in the conversation, right? You're dropping your conversation into my AI, and that is going to be the starting point. So we, you know, this is our example of a conversation that Cheryl was having with a gal named Debbie, and they're conversing back and forth. She's sharing that into the chat, and then your AI is going to help you to be able to
Go back real quick.
Yeah.
So this is an actual conversation, like a real person. This is Debbie, and where I started this conversation was in the star system. So I want everybody to understand, I posted using my AI, and I had an amazing post about my journey in Alaska. Debbie liked that post. That's it. So I went and I used my AI to create a conversation with Debbie. And my AI told me to write, "Thanks for liking my Alaska journey post. It got me wondering, what's your all-time favorite adventure destination? Don't leave me guessing." And Debbie then responded to it. So all of this, from the very beginning, I was using my AI. So I'm sorry to interrupt, Adrian, but go ahead.
No, that's so big, right? Because you want to be able to communicate with confidence. And that's, you know, how often do we shy away from even starting that conversation because it's going, oh geez, you know, inevitably something's going to come up. I'm not going to know what to say. And so I just, you know, I kind of get panicked, and so maybe one of my natural responses is just to choose not even to go there because I'm too nervous. I don't want to look bad. I don't want to kind of get in a position where I'm sort of like called out effectively or like exposed of not knowing what to say. And so this takes you every step of the way. And so now is where the rubber starts to meet the road, right? I'm going, hey, I want to be able to actually shift this into a business conversation. How do I do that? And so this is what's really cool. And this is maybe a little bit more behind the scenes that we didn't talk about yesterday. You can see this main objective on the screen. It's optional, right? So a lot of the time, the right next step in that conversation is just to keep the conversation moving, to keep the conversation going, right? Because this is so much people's timing, people's whatever. It's not, we pop the question immediately in every single conversation. And so you don't have to select one of these, and your AI is just going to help you to keep that conversation going. But at some point, it's going to be time to shift the conversation to business. Or maybe it's time, I've already done that, and it's time for me to invite that person to check out a video. Or it's time to ask them to get on a call with me. or it's time to ask them to go and check out a presentation, or maybe they've done one of those things and now I want to invite them to get together for coffee in person, or it's time for me to follow up with that person and keep moving them through the process, or it's time for me to, maybe I've sort of presented in some way and they've given me an objection. I'm going, oh no, what am I going to do? My AI is going to help me with that. Or maybe it's time to, oh geez, it's time to close. How on earth am I going to do that? Your AI is going to be able to help you to do all of those things, right, Cheryl?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I love this list of objectives, and I want you to think of each and every time you knew that it was time to do one of these objectives, and you said to yourself, oh gosh, but I'm not sure exactly how to say it. I wish I had the right words. I wish I was confident enough to just put it out there, right? Or when that person says, I have to ask my wife first, and you're like, how am I supposed to overcome an objective? What do I say to that? Or what do I say when someone says, is that network marketing? Right? Just like we heard from Ray, how do I respond to that? So there's never a time where you feel like someone's going to get me in a situation where I'm not the most confident I can be, where I can't show posture, right? So I think all of this gives us that opportunity to say and be confident in ourselves and continue to move through that process. We are taking the entire conversation that you're having and you're pasting it in there, and you are telling the AI, hey, this is how I want to move this conversation. I need to overcome an objective. Or maybe it's time for me to even just shift this conversation to business. And it's like having this little voice of Ray Higdon here going,
right,
hey, this is how you do it. You're going to be okay. Right? That's awesome.
So, and for those of you watching live with us, or if you're watching on the replay, we want you to do this too. Let us know, which one of those are you most excited about? Where are you most looking forward to having the, Ray's help giving you the words? Is it when it comes time to shift that conversation to business? Is it when it's come time to invite them to watch a video or to get on a call or to attend a presentation? Is it figuring out a way to ask somebody to go get together for a coffee or something in person? Is it around follow-up? Is it around facing those objections that might come up? Is it the close? Like, which one stands out to you where you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lifesaver for me. It's going to help me so much to know the right thing to say. I'm excited to hear from you, which one you like. And it's awesome seeing all the comments flow through here. Hernan's here. We got Brett Sipe in the house. Isabella's here. We've got Eddie and Kim and Klaus. It's awesome. So great to see all of you. Thanks for all the comments. We super appreciate it.
That's awesome. It's great to see everybody here. We are looking for feedback from you guys. One of the things, another kind of inside look, was that secondary objective, right? Where we were showing you the main objective, but we were trying not to share every little thing with you guys because there's even more coming up, right? And that's getting into the detail of, hey, I maybe have an objective, but I have something specific that I need to overcome. So I want you all to know that you're kind of seeing some things, but it goes and dives even deeper. I thought it was super funny, Adrian, yesterday when Ray kind of let the cat out of the bag of, I was going to say it. Hey, I'm writing the message, but I also, what was so wonderful is we're getting to hear him talk and so insightful. He's like, look, I would type it this way, but I wouldn't say it that way. Right. Hey, I would type it this way, but I wouldn't say it that way. And we think, hey, well, if I type it that way, I just say it that way. Absolutely not. Do you want to share more details about the typing versus the talking?
Yeah, totally. And I think this is one of those things, right, where increasingly we're always, the person on the other end of your message, whether you realize it or not, right, they're wondering, like, am I really talking to a human being, or am I just talking, whether it's an AI thing or not, forget AI, am I just talking to a script? Am I just talking to somebody who is just sending the exact same thing to every single person? Or am I really talking to somebody? And it's so funny.
Oh, we lost Adrian. He's probably going to say something like, this is so funny. This happened, and probably share with you a scenario in which that happened to him. And someone said to him, wow, this is real. There you go. I was saying, you have a scenario where somebody said, oh, wow, you're a real person. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. I swiped across my mouse that's like a touchscreen mouse, and it took me out of the room. Sorry, I'm back. So yeah, so I had this experience. It's funny because it just validated this experience earlier today. So somebody friended me on Facebook. I make a point of, and she actually made a point. She sent me a really nice message that felt like a real message to me. And so I wrote back to her and I said, hey, that's awesome. I'm really glad to connect with you. I noticed that we have a couple people who I know pretty well as common friends. Do you know them personally, or, are they just quote Facebook friends? Right. Cause I get it. Like, you don't necessarily know everybody just cause they're friends, but I'm trying to build connection. And she wrote back this like page of this, like, this is who I am, and this is this, and this is this. And it's like, obviously the prelude to a pitch. And I was like, you literally didn't read anything I said there. You just saw I responded and you pasted this thing, and you suck, was how I felt. And this is exactly what Ray talked about yesterday, right? That you're missing the clues. And so one of the ways that you can overcome that people are maybe suspicious of that is for them to be able to hear your voice, for them to actually hear from you. And yet that might be a really scary thing if you don't have some help, if you don't have something showing you what to say, and if you don't have somebody that's giving it to you in words that are the kind of words you would say, not the SAT words that you might write. And so, how cool is it to be able to say, my AI, hey, Cheryl, it's really great to meet you. My name's Adrian, and, I love getting to know people. Tell me one thing about you that that not a lot of people know, or whatever it is, right? But I'm reading this off of this screen, so I don't have to have the perfect words. And I can actually, if I stumble over my words or something, I could even record it again if I wanted to. So it is giving me the confidence to know what to say and to have the right things to say. And those two different ways of doing it, written or audio, are so powerful.
They are absolutely powerful. I kind of go back to an area where you first get started in network marketing, where you first start to share your business. And I'll tell you, look, I didn't know everything about sales and marketing. And so I would just wait. So I would just be having a never-ending conversation, hoping and waiting for that person to say to me, what is it that you do? Just like the longest ever. Hey, what is it that you do, so that I can I can share the opportunity that I had with them. And I know some of you must be stuck in the same cycle, right? You're like, oh my gosh, how's your kids? How's your family? How's things going? I love your faith. And you're just like, I'm just trying to tell you about something that's going on, or I wanted to present this opportunity. I'm just not sure of the right words to say. And I think that that's super valuable, whether it's voice or typing that message, whatever you're the most confident in, right? At that time, you'll build and grow your confidence as you continue to use the tool. So I think that's go ahead.
That's exactly right. And so, we talked about you're able to prompt this with your objectives and have it help you along. And then it is giving you those perfect words, right? It's giving you that ideal way to be able to move the conversation to the next step, to move it to the right place in the next stage of the conversation. And all of this, like we have dozens of different pieces of the puzzle that are all captured in here and all linked together in a way that is going to feed you the perfect thing to say next, so that you can feel confident every step of the way, so that you know that you're not, what was supposed, in my script book, what was supposed to happen after I said this is that, but that didn't happen. And now I'm like, I don't know I don't know where I am. Like, I'm really worried. Like, those things happen, right? I remember having that tension in like, oh God, like, now what do I do? Well, you don't have to know, because your AI is going to help you along the way, because it's going to be able to see what happened next and show you the next step in the process. And that's so powerful, because it keeps you confident. It keeps you in the game. It keeps you feeling like you're doing the right thing, because it's not just all on your shoulders to know what to do.
One of the things that Ray was sharing, and whether it was like a script or a follow-up or whatever, is this posture of being like in a rush or being busy. right? And having, telling people, hey, be in a rush, be busy, whatever. But people take things literally. So in their script, they would just be like, but I'm really busy. Or I'm in a rush, right? Like, we're not sure how to kind of position themselves to be in the rush or be busy. And the way that he would weave it into the script so well, right? Hey, I have a couple people I need to get back to today. Or the way that he would position it so that you weren't just saying the words, hey, I'm in a rush. It was the posture that came through in the script that was needed at that time that could not possibly be put into a script book. That could have, like, you would have to be coached for years in knowing exactly how to weave that into the conversation that he was making a part of that, intertwined with AI. I thought that that was so great that people wouldn't have to figure out, how do I weave this in that script too?
Right. Yep. No, that's so right on. And I think this is it. And so, we're so excited because you're going to get access to this later this month. Like, it is like, this is not like, hey, this is coming like sometime in 2024. Like, this is here. It's coming this month. We're so excited to get this into your hands. And, that by itself, like, I know people are already like just flying in, wanting to get access to this, wanting to be ready as soon as it comes out. But as we were talking to Ray, he, you know how Ray is. He's always like, hey, how can I make this even better? How can I add even more value? And so I mean, Cheryl, tell him, like, I'm so thankful that he made this an even better opportunity for everybody.
This is an awesome opportunity. Look, everybody who is a Nowsite customer gets the opportunity to have this feature inside of Nowsite. But our new customers, what they get the opportunity to have is, in addition to being a Nowsite customer, they get a free month of Rank Makers. And this is a community led by Ray Higdon. That's amazing. He does daily trainings in there, challenges, events. It's awesome. So not only do your new customers get to become a new customer and choose their Nowsite plan, but they also get a free month of Rank Makers with Ray Higdon. That's awesome. All they have to do is use code RANK. I have one more thing to add here, Adrian. Look, this offer does end November 9th. I am telling you, our price increase is also going to happen right after November 9th. That's it. So you can lock in your customer at the lower price and offer them a free month of Rank Makers. That price, right, Adrian?
It's for reals. But I'm also like, that's awesome. But I'm that I like talking about you usually, but occasionally I want to know what's in it for me, Cheryl. If I'm an affiliate, what's in it for me?
So if I'm an affiliate, guess what? I get a free month of Rank Makers too. So
boom.
Who makes the sale? That means you right here, right now. It's a great opportunity to share with anybody that you know on Nowsite, of course, and they'll get a free month of Rank Makers, and so will you. So that's awesome.
So great. So great. All right, Cheryl, this has been super fun. Anything else we want to share before we get out of here?
No, look, we'll be telling them all of the details before they happen, and we have to leave some stuff to a surprise. So look, you guys, you can find all of the information. You can find the recording with Ray. You can find these flyers. You can find the affiliate information at November 2023.now.site. You can find the recording with Ray and all of the flyers at November 2023.now.site. Check it out, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks for hanging out with me, Adrian.
This was fun. See you all soon. Bye-bye.